Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we are going to be ranking everything coming in 1.20 so far. Now obviously snapshots are still going on, so things could be added to this as snapshots go. One thing I do quickly want to mention, we actually have more in this update than we did actually get in 1.19. The only addition is 1.19 added a whole new structure and obviously 2 biomes. This one only adds 1 biome, and as you can see, all of these items right here. Snapshots for 1.20 haven't even started yet. I don't know if there will be dedicated snapshots for 1.20 or if it'll go from 1.19 say 4 straight to the 1.20 release, and then we'll see 1.21 updates. I have no clue. But anyway, let's get to ranking. As you can see right here, not every single item is here because a lot of them are just like duplicates. You can see I haven't put every single wood. I've just put like the logs, the planks, and then the trapdoors and doors because they are different. And then obviously some other things related to them. So let's start with suspicious sand. Now this is a good block and we've only seen it for like 2-3 days. So this could and probably will be updated, but I'm ranking them off how they are right now. So right now, the block is cool. If you place it down, you can obviously brush it to get items out of it, but only naturally. I really wish either when you place it down, it would randomly get an item that you can brush out, or you as a player can put items in by clicking, and then if another player comes, they can dig the item you put in out. That'd be really cool, and if that was the case, then it'd probably be an A to S. But due to it being so rare as well, I think it's going to be a B. Oops, I did not mean to place it. I think it's going to be a B, because technically it's just sand with an alternate texture. And unless you're obviously exploring for it, in creative mode, it's kind of pointless apart from just being a bit more cracked. So now let's cover the cherry wood type of blocks. Let's do the leaves. The leaves first. I like the leaves. Not only are they 2 different colors rather than Minecraft leaves where they're just green. The only ones that have different colors in them are obviously Exalia, and I think jungle wood might. I can't remember. Or jungle leaves. Maybe on Bedrock they do, but I don't think they do on Java. So yeah, I like that they have 2 colors, and I also like that they do display particles dripping underneath them. So you can actually add them in a ceiling or something. So I guess you could like build a ceiling made out of trapdoors or something, and then have the leaves above them. But they're a really cool block. I love the texture of them. I love how cool they look. I think they're going to be an A. I don't think they're S tier because they're not like super overpowered or super useful in any way. Now let's cover the logs. I really like the logs. I think they look really cool. I love the purplish color. It kind of reminds me of an evil looking block where you can use it in maybe evil types of builds. But I do also like the pink, which you can have. And obviously you can have full sides of both of them by using the 6-sided versions. So that's really cool. I think because I really like the texture of the outside, I think it's gonna go maybe with A with the leaves because I do really like it. Now I like the planks. The planks are cool. I also like how they blend in with the top of the log. But one thing I have about them, I don't like how much they have white in them. They have a very high saturated white color, as you can see. Maybe that is, or I think that is to make them different from the actual stripped version. So I'm guessing that's why, but I don't like how white they are. Obviously they're pink, but they have a really high white color to them. So for that case, I think they're going to go into C. So now let's talk about the doors and the trapdoors. I really like these. These are cool. I like how they are unique, and this one has a handle at the bottom rather than the handle being on the side or near the top. So I like that. I also like the patterns they are given. So I think we're going to put these, I don't think they're as good as the leaves and the logs. I think they're going to go in B tier. The sapling is the same as every other sapling. You can grow it into a tree or you can flower pot it. I like this. It's thicker than most other saplings, so it covers the block a bit more, and I just like how the texture is of it. So for that case, there's nothing else to really say about this. For that case, I think it deserves a B tier. The pink petals. Pink petals are a block you can place down. They are directional. It will always start in the bottom right corner, and then you can fill them up to 4 leaves, as you can see. I like that. That's really cool. it would be cool if we got more colors of them, because this is pink petals. It would be cool maybe if you right click dye on them or something, they turn into red petals or orange petals. I think that would be cool. Maybe not something that would fit with the theme of these flowers, because they are obviously for the cherry blossom biome. So for that case, I think they deserve a B as well. I don't think they quite go into an A, or they go into a C. Now, torchflower is, we're going to be ranking the torchflower and torchflower seeds together, just because the seeds are kind of pointless apart from breeding sniffers. They're kind of pointless, obviously, to only grow the flower. Now, the flower can once again be placed down on most mud or grass blocks, and apart from it being decorative, it doesn't do anything. I like the texture. The texture is really unique. I love how there's more than just one color, unlike obviously the other flowers where it's just based on red or blue. This has got like 3 to 4 different colors mixed in. So I like that because it would blend into more builds. I don't like how it don't have a use. Obviously it can be crafted into orange dye, but that's not useful enough. Maybe if it give off a light level of maybe 7 or something to match up with the name torch. But currently I think it deserves a C. It would be in D tier if it didn't have such a good texture. So the bamboo blocks, the stripped or the non-stripped version and the stripped versions are going to be voted separately because they are 2 different colors and textures. So this one right here is what you actually get from crafting 9 bamboo, and it's a cool looking block. It blends in with a lot of green stuff. It looks very natural, and it does fit with like natural looking builds as a sticky looking block. So I like that. I haven't really messed with it in builds, so I don't know what it would look like in like big builds. I think it deserves a C, just because it's not overly useful apart from decoration and building, and it can be used to turn into stripped bamboo or also bamboo planks. Now, stripped bamboo and bamboo planks, I think we're going to vote together because they are technically the same, just with a unique texture to them. I like, once again, the yellowness of these. I think the texture they have matches quite a lot of other blocks in the game, and the textures are unique, I think, especially with the top being different to the sides and also the planks. So I like that. So I think these are gonna get, do they go with the C? Yeah, I think they'll go in C tier as well. Now the bamboo mosaic I like even more because it's got more detail to it. So you can throw this into a floor with bamboo just to break up the texture a little bit rather than it all being flat like this. You can just throw in now and again one to make it look like the bamboo has maybe been twisted or even bent. So for that case, I think I'm going to put those mosaic in there just because I like the uniqueness of it, and we haven't got any blocks like the mosaic because every other wood type just has the basic. Now the doors and trapdoors, I like these. Once again, they're just like bamboo. I like how, once again, they are unique and not just a copied and pasted of other trapdoors and doors. So I don't think they're better than the actual cherry. So for that case, I think they deserve a C as well. Maybe. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the C. Let's cover chiseled bookshelves. I love chiseled bookshelves. They are actually really useful because you can store books in them, with books being book and quill, enchanted books, or normal books. And you can actually choose where they go now, and you can also put the books in and out with hoppers, which I really like. So that's something that is really cool, and I think these are quite useful blocks, not only for storing, like sorting out books and stuff like that in maybe some farms that provide them, fish farms or anything, because obviously you can still build them. So this would be a good way to maybe filter out the enchanted books from fish farms. So that's kind of cool that they can be used in kind of a redstone aspect. They can also read out or give an output on the last book that was implemented, put in or taken out. So that's really cool. They also do have a unique texture on the side and top, which I like. So for that case, I think they deserve an A, just because I think they're going to be quite useful. So now let's cover the decorated pot. Now obviously this block itself does nothing at the moment. We've only seen it once again for like 2 days, so that could change. But it's only for decoration. You cannot do anything with it. It don't have gravity, so it can't be used as like a different gravity based block. and all you can really do is just decorate it to how you like it and then place it at your front door or inside of your bedroom or something. So for that case, I think it deserves a D. Maybe if it becomes more useful in the future, it can be pushed up, or even the ability to dye them, because I think that would then make them blend in a lot more rather than just being the terracotta color. The brush is an item that digs for sand, or suspicious sand. It digs out items out of suspicious sand. It's a cool item. The animation is a bit scuffed, and I think Minecraft could have maybe done better with it, but I guess they're probably wanting to keep it basic. I love the animation in this view though. I would have liked it maybe if it was more centered, as if you were holding it with two hands, but I don't like how little use the brush has. Maybe once more gets added to archaeology, the use will be improved, but currently you can only use it to dig suspicious sand. I really wish maybe you could like dig other blocks to do certain things to them. Maybe digging leaves would do something, or maybe even digging away cobwebs would get rid of them without having to break them with your sword. Maybe certain things like that, where the brush would just be a bit more useful, where you're brushing away certain aspects of blocks. So I think it's going to go with flower pots. I love the texture though. The texture is really cool. But because it's just only used for the one thing at the moment, it's kind of pointless. So we're going to put it there. Let's now cover the note block mob sounds. The mob sounds and the piggling head are going to be two separate votes. But mob sounds, you can now put a mob head on a note block, play the note block, and it plays that mob sound. I like that. That's really cool, not only for atmospheric builds where you can maybe have a piggling sound effect when you do certain things. It can also be used in pranking things. So I like that, and for that case, I think I'm going to put it in A tier, just because I really like the idea of that. Now the piggling head. I like the piggling head, it's really cool. I love that it interacts with redstone and makes the ears flop. I also love that when it's on the player and the player walks, the ears flop. One thing I don't like about it is how it's obtained. I think maybe there should be a low chance to find them inside of bastions, because that's obviously where the piglings live. Maybe there could be a little like shrine. Maybe one of the bastions the housing units possibly could be updated a little bit to have a shrine for a dead pigling possibly. And that could be another way to obtain them. I just don't like how you have to get a pigling killed by a charged creeper, because piglins can't survive in the overworld, they zombify. And getting a charged creeper to the nether, it's hard enough getting the overworld mob heads. So for the actual, I think it's going to go in A. If it was a bit easier to find, I think it would probably be S tier. But because it's kind of hard and you're not going to really have that many of them unless you really sit there and try and farm them. Now let's cover sniffers. Sniffers I really like. Sniffers are such a cool mob. They obviously only do one thing at the moment, and that is dig for flowers, or the one torch flower. They don't really have any way to spawn in survival mode yet, so I guess that could improve them in future snapshots, and maybe if they added more flower types to them, that could also improve them. Let's now talk about some things that could change that I would like. I would like if they had maybe more flower types. Maybe also they could dig seeds up in certain biomes. So say jungles, they have a chance, and only jungles, to dig up a new ancient seed called maybe the torch flower can only be found in jungled biomes. It would then cause you to maybe get a sniffer to a jungle biome just to get that flower type, and I think it would force the player to explore more, which is a part of Minecraft, and I think that needs to be encouraged more. They've obviously done a good job of it with the actual armor trims. So I love the animations, I love the texture of the sniffer. I think it deserves an A tier. Once again, it could be S tier if there was more flower types and also more unique biome certain flowers. I think that could be cool. Now the camel. The camel is a mob that is just like horses and llamas. It's completely passive, unlike llamas. It won't spit at you. You can have two players riding the camel, and it can also dash, which is a new thing we haven't seen a mob do before. I love the animations. Once again, the animations are custom, but I think just the only use for camels is really the ability for two players to ride them. They're the only land vehicle that can allow two players. Obviously boats can, but they're water, and I think for that case that boosts it a little bit. But I just don't think they're that useful in single player, and me being mainly a single player, I don't actually think they're that useful. So I think they deserve a C. Maybe if they could do some more things, they would be boosted up. But in multiplayer, if I was voting this a multiplayer, they'd probably be an A or B. Hanging signs. Now, hanging signs is something I think is really cool. I love how they've implemented them, and I love that you can hang them underneath each other. I love how if you crouch, they have a different chain to just placing them flat. And I love how you can actually dangle them at different angles. I also love that you can sort of do this. If you don't crouch and place it, it places like that, which kind of looks like a takeaway sign in certain drive-thrus. So I really like that. I think hanging signs are a huge W. I don't like how expensive they are to craft, but I think that's just something that is fine. So I think they're going to go in A. No, I think they're going to go in B. If they had double-sided text, so say if I writ on this side, if that text was printed onto this side as well, I think they would be an A. But because that's not the case, they are a B. Now, we're going to be covering the pottery shard. I'm going to vote them all different items because of the patterns. So they're all going to be voted on a category of the use of them, and then also the pattern. So the pattern of the diamond, I really like that. That's cool. The pattern of the pattern of the bow is once again cool. The pattern of the actual, the hands up is cool. And I like the skull. Now, so I like all of them really. I hope for more patterns in the future. And I really hope for some of the things that we have banner patterns for, that we could get patterns for these, because I would really love to have like a Mojang banner, the thing, on one of these, or even the snout or flower charge or skull charge. Now the use of these, they only have one use, and that is to craft a useless decorated pot with them. So I think for that case, they would be an E, because just finding them, if you don't plan to decorate with pots, they're pointless. You can't do anything with them. But I think because I like the textures of them, I think they deserve to be one more up. I do quickly just want to mention, although everything for archaeology is down low, it doesn't mean I don't like the feature. I love the addition of archaeology. I just think unless you are going out to be an archaeologist inside of the game, the features are kind of pointless. The other features, whereas like the bamboo, they're going to be used in quite a lot of different things. So next, let's talk about smithing templates. I like the idea. I like that netherite has been made harder to obtain, because before it was just the fact of get iron tools, then go and buy your armor from villagers, then just go TNT mining or bed mining in the nether. And a lot of people had netherite within the first hour or two of having, maybe not full netherite, but they had some netherite. Or you could even just go raid bastions to get full netherite ingots, which was the best way to do it. And a lot of people had netherite within the first few hours of playing in a survival mode if you were dedicated to do it. I like that it's been made harder, and you either have to spend your diamonds to get more of these, or you have to go exploring for more, obviously once you've found the one. So this, the use of this I really like. The texture is kind of pointless because it's an item, it can't really do anything. And finally, armor templates. Armor templates is just going to be voted on a category. I'm not going to vote every single individual template on how they look, because we'll be here all day. I'm just going to vote armor trimming as a general thing, and I like it. It's cool. Once again, I wish there was more materials that you could put into them, and I really wish the armor trimming had abilities. I guess that would take away from the whole customize it how you want it, and if they had abilities, it would then be customize it to be more OP. I like how it's implemented. I love the whole feature. I think it deserves an A tier. S tier could possibly be reached if there was maybe more customizable options with the whole materials. I think that it being added to leather armor was a huge W as well. That is where I'm going to end this video. Here is my final ratings for everything in this update. Nothing quite reached S tier like in the 1.19 version. I think the Warden reached S tier. That's just because I love the Warden so much. Anyway, if you did enjoy, leave a like and subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys in another one very soon. This download will be in the description, so if you want to rank all the actual 120 features yourself, then you can do so.